Welcome to the Lands of Ruin game overview series. This video will cover the basics of gameplay for a two-player scenario. In Lands of Ruin, all actions are assigned the turn before they are performed. Since this is the first action phase of the game, no actions were previously assigned. In the first action phase for each player, the only action available is movement. The character card for each character displays the movement allowance for that character. In this example, Androphage is allowed up to 16 inches of movement during his first turn. A character can always move less than his movement allowance. The number on the character card represents only the maximum distance the character is allowed to move. During the sync phase, the player must inform the command console where their characters ended their turn. Again, this doesn't have to be the exact location. Simply indicate the right map section and approximate location to the tablet app. During the command phase, players assign actions to each character, which they will then perform on the player's next turn during the action phase. A player can choose to assign the same actions to their entire team by using the quick actions shown here. However, it is often preferable to assign different actions to each character to make the best use of their individual weapons and skills. This is the approach taken in this example. To assign unique actions to each character, tap the character's card, and a list of their individual actions will be displayed. The actions selected will be displayed on the character's card, so a player can remember what actions they have assigned to each character. Each action costs a specified number of action points. When an action is assigned, the remaining action points are automatically calculated by the command console. Any remaining action points will automatically be converted into movement for the next turn. This is discussed in greater detail in another video. During the environment phase, all environmental actions and AI characters take effect. This includes everything from rotters to grenades. All players participate in every environmental phase. First, all rotters that are already on the table are moved. Attracted by the noise of battle, these rotters are drawn to the map section and character producing the most noise. This is indicated in the command console. Then all rotters that are in base-to-base contact with the player character perform their attacks. After all movement and attacks are completed, new rotters are spawned at the table edges. Rules for rotters and other AI characters are described in more detail in another video. After tapping the Next Phase button, it's the opponent's turn. The opponent player will now perform their character's movement, previously assigned actions, and sync as the first player did on their turn. During the second player's turn, some limited information about their activities will be displayed on the first player's command console. In this example, new rotters arrive on the battlefield during the opponent's environmental phase. New rotters are indicated on the corresponding table edge by the command console. The number and type of rotter is also indicated by the app. On the previous turn, actions were assigned to the first player's characters to be performed on the following turn's action phase. Now those actions can be performed. Move each character up to the amount of inches displayed on their individual character cards. In Lands of Ruin, a character's movement and actions can be performed in any order the player wishes. They can choose to move, then shoot, shoot, then move, or move, shoot, and move again, with each of their characters. Here we give an example of a typical attack. Thanatos is moved into closer range of his intended target. He then shoots at Achilles, which hits. Attacking and shooting an enemy are covered in greater detail in another video. Thanatos then concludes his action by moving into base-to-base contact with Laconides, and attacks him in close combat, but misses. Let's look at the action from the other player's command console. Your opponent's tablet displays many of the same details about Thanatos' attack. However, in many circumstances, each player's command console will display different or secret information asymmetrically to each player. The hits that are scored against Achilles are registered as unresolved hits. These will be resolved during the opponent's turn. Additionally, the suppression that results from the attacks is immediately applied to both characters. In this example, we fast forward through Androphage's attack on Laconides, and the opponent turned to the enemy's damage resolution. During damage resolution, the animation shows what effects are applied to both characters as a result of the previous attacks. In this case, both Reclaimer characters are killed by the attacks. Specifically, Achilles is decapitated by Thanatos' harpoon, and Androphage's saw disembowels Laconides.